Hi, I'm Doug.
And I'm Yvette.
And your search for a hot and smoking podcast is over.
Welcome to Search Complete. Hello and welcome to Search Complete, a podcast where we see what the internet has been searching for by taking the first part of a question and things we want to know. But before typing it in, we'll guess how it auto-completes and you can play along at home. We can have a good laugh at society's expense and then we'll realise we actually want to know the answers.
And our search phrase for this week is sexiest way to.
Ooh, this is going to be a hot and smoking podcast this week.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's Valentine's Day a couple of days ago, I think.
Yeah.
So it's topical.
So you should all be in the sexy mood, hopefully.
Hopefully nothing went wrong and you weren't Googling sexiest way to.
And got a load of bad advice and were really unsexy. So what do you think people need to sexify in their lives?
Well, my first one that instantly came to mind was sexiest way to eat spaghetti. Because it is not a sexy food to eat.
I'm not being funny, but is there a possible sexy way to eat spaghetti? Like, if you saw someone looking really sexy eating spaghetti, would you be like, that is good? Or you'd be like, there is something wrong with me for finding that sexy?
I just love a bit of bolognese on the chin.
If you want to look sexy, like if you're on a date or something, just don't order spaghetti.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it would be impressive if you did manage it, but also the risk is so high.
Yeah. To be honest, I think it's probably more like to be some sort of food, like sexiest way to eat food.
Like ice lollies or bananas.
I was thinking strawberries and chocolate, but that will do.
Well, I suppose tweet us your sexiest spaghetti eating tips.
That would be so good.
Yeah, just tweet us a picture of you eating spaghetti. Maybe on like a boomerang loop of the spaghetti just slurping in.
We'll have to do that.
Yeah, so we're at SC Podcasts _UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't have any eating ones, unsurprisingly. So I was thinking ask someone out.
Yeah, I had that one. That makes sense.
I think that is something that makes sense, that you'd want to do that sexily.
All right.
Introduce yourself was another one that I had.
Yeah.
Because I think, you know, if you meet someone at a party, you don't want to be like, hi, I'm Yvette, and you're all goofy, and then, like, you're never going to pick someone up.
How would you do it? How would you introduce yourself sexily?
You might Google, you know,
slide
just
up against the door, look
nonchalant. You know, when you slide your arm up the door frame. No, I don't know, but just, you know, so that you come across as interesting and not goofy.
Yeah.
A lot of mine, I feel like, a thing, and not necessarily people wanting to be sexy, but maybe people wanting to be not goofy.
Not goofy.
So I was, another one that I had was smile.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people are very self-conscious about their smile, like maybe they don't like their teeth, or they just don't want to go around like full cheesing it at everyone, and they want a bit of more of a sexy smile.
Oh, along that theme, I had sexiest way to like lick your lips or bite lip.
I feel like from 50 Shades of Grey, probably a lot of people are like, oh yeah, how am I going to bite my lip? Is that sexy? And then, you know, you've got to do it in the mirror and you're like, just looks like I've got a little bit of my bolognese sauce on my chin. Yeah, I also had dance.
I had that one too.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think it's something that people are self-conscious about, especially British people, I think, are notoriously bad dancers.
Yeah.
Brackets at a club. You might want people to notice how sexily you're dancing at the club.
I'm always impressed by people that can actually just dance. Being able to dance is just sexy. It doesn't matter how well. As long as it's some sort of movement that's in line with music, I'm impressed.
I feel like a large part of dancing is just like not caring. I feel like knock back a few drinks, you become instantly an excellent dancer because you're not uptight as much anymore. I mean, I don't think I'm a good dancer, but...
Hey, you can move in time. It did it for me.
Yeah, few drinks. Listen to what the music's playing. That's all you need. On a similar line as flirt.
Yeah.
So you could say something to someone that's, like, sexy and not creepy, but still, like, interesting. One on a slightly different theme is dress. Like, sexiest way to dress. Yeah. Maybe more specific, like, dress for my body type. Because certain clothes are really sexy, like a bodycon dress or a really short skirt. But if that doesn't suit your body, it's just not going to look sexy.
I think, you're right.
Or also maybe dress for my age. You know, in Queer Eye, Tan's always like, oh, it's so good to see you in something age appropriate.
What do you mean? There's nothing wrong with a 6-year-old person wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether people would think that about themselves, though. Like, whether,
it's true.
like,
you have to have someone tell you.
I'm not dressing age appropriately. Have you got anything else?
Sexiest way to have sex.
Really? You think people would Google the sexiest way to have sex?
No, we're 6 episodes in, and there's been some weird stuff that has come up that I would be like, this is not the top of the pile. So yes, I genuinely think someone will search sexiest way to have sex.
But isn't having sex, like, inherently sexy because you're...
Yeah, but you want to do it the sexiest way possible.
But sexy to who? Like, the people that are having sex don't care how it looks. I feel like sexiness is an aesthetic thing largely, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think people do care.
Why? Unless you're going to film it or something. I will be highly surprised and disappointed in humanity if someone's Googled sexiest way to have sex.
I'm looking forward to it coming up.
Oh. Another one that I had was like sexiest way to pose for a picture.
Yeah,
or
okay,
maybe a selfie. It's brackets naked. Because I think, with the whole sexting thing.
Those young'uns doing that craze.
Yeah, and also I feel like if you're doing a selfie, your options are limited to like how far you can reach your arm and what parts of your body you can get in it. And then if if you're sitting down or something and your belly's poking out, that's a bit more...
2 words. Selfie stick.
But then is that sexy? You can't have a stick in the picture. God, you stick. Have you got any more?
No, that's all I've got. All right. We are now going to type this in. And while I type it in, if you guys have any ideas at home or what you think it might be, please write them down and then send them to us. You can either tweet us at secpodcast_UK or send us an email at searchcompletepodcast@gmail.com and we'll read them out in the next episode.
Also, don't forget to tweet us your sexy spaghetti eating. All right, well, let's see what these results are. Sexiest way to... Say goodnight.
Say goodnight, that's so nice. And say I love you.
Sexiest way to say I love you. Surely actually just saying I love you is like enough, right? How would you make it more sexy? I don't know.
I'm not going to try. All right, next one is sexiest way to propose.
This is something also that I feel like, what? Like, do you want your proposal to be sexy?
No, you want it to be romantic.
Yeah, romantic for sure. Like, right, if you get engaged, who's the first person you're going to tell? Your mum. If it's too sexy, you can't tell your mum about it. So if your mum's like, oh yeah, you started off with a really sexy strip tease and then
the ring was somewhere.
Yeah, and it just feel like it's awkward. A proposal should be heartfelt and personal, not like sexy. I don't know.
I think people are maybe getting... somewhat confused between romantic and sexy in these.
Maybe.
Because we got sexiest way to say hello.
Okay.
Why, hello there.
Sexiest way to introduce yourself. I got that one right. That one.
Sexiest way to say good morning. Underneath good night. Good night's more important to be sexy.
I feel like probably... if you've been talking to someone all day, I feel like these ones say hello, good morning, good night are kind of when you're texting someone a lot, when you're in that phase, when you're maybe dating and texting a lot. If you've been talking all day, you might want to say good night in a way that lets them know that, they're thinking of you. Also,
sexiest way to say I miss you and sexiest way to say happy birthday.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Bursting from a cake. I feel like there's a Mr. Burns scene where he's in a cake in The Simpsons.
There's everything in The Simpsons, so probably. Sexiest way to wear your hair. Did you say this one? Or you said dress?
I said dress.
Which is similar.
I like the phrase wear your hair though. It sort of suggests you can just take it off.
Sometimes you can.
Sometimes I wish I could just take my hair off. Sometimes it's really annoying.
That would be weird.
Would you not find me sexy if I wore my hair just off?
Just off to the side, like a little
just hanging
beret.
And sexiest way to hold a cigarette.
That's true, I think.
I feel like it's got to be in one of those holders, right?
If you're a woman, you can't use those if you're a man.
If I saw a man using a cigarette holder, I'd be like, that is a bold move. And then I'd be more inclined to talk to them, I think.
Fair enough.
Well, I have to say, not a lot of those were what I was expecting. So we might have some quite interesting research to do. And then we'll get back to you on how to be sexy.
Yeah, and I'll make sure to take a screenshot of these results and I'll put it in the show notes for you to look at as well.
Yeah, let us know if you get any more search results, especially if they're ones that actually make sense.
Yeah, that would be great. Right, be right back. And we are back. And I want to start off by maybe explaining the difference between sexy and romantic. Because there is definitely a difference here.
And I feel like there may be some confusion between sexy and romantic, just judging from the search results that we got.
No doubt. So I think doing something sexy means that you want to have sexual relations with someone. It is more of a primal thing.
Yeah, or just like more of a superficial thing, I guess.
Maybe. Versus like romantic, which I think implies a deeper connection. And
Yeah.
is usually something that builds up over time. I'd say it's more emotional.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like a romantic gesture definitely feels like it should be more meaningful than like just something that you're like, ooh, that's sexy.
But a sexual relationship can definitely develop into a romantic one, and vice versa. They are very closely linked,
Yeah.
which is why I think a lot of the things that came up were people actually wanting to be romantic versus sexy.
Yeah. I've looked into the sexiest way to wear your hair. So a lot of the articles were kind of like how to turn a guy on with your hair and sexy hair secrets, tips to make your hair look its hottest for Valentine's Day.
All right.
So they're obviously like mostly aimed at women.
Yeah, don't set it on fire.
Don't have your hair on fire. Is
Yeah,
that what
that
you
would be
would say
hot.
to women? Oh, I see. Yeah, so I was just thinking like, you should have your hair how you want it and how it makes you feel confident. Like, your hair doesn't exist to please other people, but a lot of the tips are kind of good to just generally have nice hair, so I'm going to talk about them anyway.
That sounds good.
So number one, have clean hair.
Clean it, yeah. You don't want bits of fluff or something in it.
Yeah, I mean, just like not too much product as well, like loads and loads of sticky hairspray and not too like greasy. It's healthy hair, so, you know, if you've got
No
particularly...
split ends.
Yeah, so just get your hair trimmed regularly and maybe use like a bit of serum if you've got flyaways. One of the things that I've never really considered is have a nice smelling hair.
Yeah.
So it said you could try spritzing a little perfume on your roots, but then another thing said don't put too much perfume on your hair because perfume contains alcohol, so then it can make your hair go a bit crunchy.
Oh, that's not ideal.
Or you can just get like an actual hair conditioner that smells nice.
I feel like you can be quite attracted to like the smell of someone. And
Yeah,
I
like their
I think-
natural smell.
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes from the head as well. Especially if you're
Yeah.
a guy, you're going to be, on general, going to be a bit taller. So like the hair is in peak smelling
Smell zone,
position.
yeah. Yeah, and so then there's one thing, I don't know whether you agree with this, but it says men want women's hair down, up tends to signal not accessible, was the word.
Accessible's a bit strong.
Yeah, accessible is not a word that I would like be my adjective of choice when I'm thinking about my date night look.
Yeah.
Like, it's sort of accessible seems like easy access. I don't know.
I don't know. I think like hair down does generally look better.
Yeah, and I think also maybe the idea is that your date might want to run their hands through your hair, like in a moment of passion later on, and if it's all, got loads
Tied
of
up.
pins and sticky product
Yeah.
in it, then it's less inviting.
I also think generally you wear your hair up when you go to work or
Yeah,
you're doing
maybe it
labour or
looks-
something, and generally that's not as attractive.
Looks more relaxed, maybe.
Yeah.
And then this one, which I thought was probably the best point, was let your hairstyle express who you are. So if
yeah.
you're trying too hard to be somebody else with your hair, then it's just going to look uncomfortable, and other people will probably notice that.
Yeah.
And also, something that I would add to that is to work like with your natural hair, not against it.
Yeah.
So like if you've got naturally very curly hair, trying to have really straight hair is probably just not gonna. It's gonna be a
gonna
lot
work.
of effort, and
Yeah.
you should just appreciate what you've got. What about men's hairstyling tips? I hear you cry.
I do really want to know about this. I just kind of do brush it in the morning and that's about it.
Yeah. Have hair box checked. So there was one article about men's hair on the front page, and it's basically just a list of men's hairstyles called 10 sexiest hairstyles for men that drive women crazy.
Drive them crazy.
Yeah, it's all in caps
Wow.
as well.
Crazy.
So how would you describe your hairstyle, Doug?
Medium long.
Medium long.
Fairly straight.
Okay, so the technical term for your hairstyle is the bro flow.
Bro. I don't know how I feel about that.
Did you want to not have this hairstyle now?
I've never really thought of myself as a bro.
A bro. So you've got a sexy hairstyle that's cool and carefree. The bro flow projects a rugged and relaxed aesthetic.
I'm going for relaxed.
Yeah, I think this sums up your approach to your hairstyle is cuts time out of your morning routine because it requires minimal styling.
Ideal.
So I think it's just a sort of mid-length hair, kind of a bit wavy,
Yeah.
not too
Like
wild.
my hair.
But your other hair options could be the man bun, a modern classic, flexible as it is current.
How's it modern and classic?
Well,
I thought they were opposing things.
I mean, that's the power of the man bun, I guess.
It transcends time.
Yeah. Or alternatively, the slick back.
Oh, I'm not a big fan of that.
I feel like it's kind of got like a gangstery vibe almost.
Yeah, it does. And I imagine it's a lot of work to do, actually. Like, it looks simple, but, like, you got to put a lot of product in there. Yeah,
it was talking about you can create the style by brushing all your hair back and using pomade to secure the shape, which is, I think, that's like a wax.
Oh, that sounds like a type of fizzy drink.
Like apple, fizzy apple. Yeah, so I won't go into all the rest of the hairstyles on the list, but feel free to look it up or just imagine the other looks, including the iconic Julius Caesar.
What's that?
It's like Julius Caesar's haircut, where it's sort of got like a really short little fringe at the top.
Oh, that!
Yeah.
That is an interesting look, for sure.
Yeah, apparently Julius Caesar himself got it to sort of cover his receding hairline, so it's probably why it's still popular. But yeah, there's all sorts of like the pompadour and the Ivy League and the faux hawk.
So what's a faux hawk?
Like a little mohawk.
Oh, just like a little one, not a proper mohawk.
Remember when like David Beckham had that hairstyle about 15 years ago, and that was like the big thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is sexy hair.
The other search phrase that I was looking at is sexiest way to propose. I think this is a downright romantic thing,
yeah,
right?
This is definitely the thing that came... When I saw it, I was like, you don't want a sexy proposal, you want a romantic proposal.
Yes. So I assume we're at marriage proposals, because I did come across some rather sexy marketing proposals. I was like, what is this PDF?
The sexy business proposal?
No, I don't know. I just typed in proposal or sexiest proposals, and it just came up with some marketing proposals.
Interesting.
Like, what is this? Anyway, there are hundreds of ways to propose. The lists were endless, but I have found the sexiest.
Okay.
So the first thing is to use candles.
Okay.
Candles are always seen as sexy. And I Googled it, I couldn't find any answers as to why candles were sexy. But I have my own thoughts, but I wanted to hear yours first.
I think, I guess the soft lighting can be quite sexy.
Yeah, but why?
What do you mean why? I think... You don't feel sexy in a harsh light, do you? No. But in a dim light, you could feel and then your skin tone's a bit warmer. And, yeah, so maybe that, and maybe also just seems like more effort has been made into setting a nice scene.
That's a good one. The other thing I thought was that it's kind of a bit more primal.
Yeah.
A bit more basic. So.
But I feel like if you were dragged someone to a cave... that wouldn't be romantic, would it? You'd be like, it's too primal.
I don't know. If you had a cave and then you laid out some candles and stuff.
You'd have to do a lot of work, I think, to make your cave seem romantic and not weird.
Yeah. Needless to say, caves did not come up in the results.
Probably that's a good thing.
Another sexy way to propose is do it on a particularly sexy day, like Valentine's Day. Maybe a little cliche.
It's a bit cliche, I think, yeah.
Or maybe a little bit more personal is a anniversary for the couple. Yeah. Like first kiss, first date, something like that.
Yeah. Also, if you do it on a special day, it's like you can help remember when it was that you got engaged.
Don't have to remember too many dates.
Yeah.
Another one is to start off with a sexy massage.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't like a sensual massage? And I think it gets you into a relaxed state. So you can tense all right back up again when the big question comes in.
Maybe you need to do the massage afterwards.
Yeah. Maybe. I was trying to think of some examples, just some scenarios that could be sexy.
Okay. As opposed to romantic, actual sexy proposals.
Yeah, so I've said all of these things, use candles, but it's very generic. To be honest, the internet was pretty useless.
Wow. The whole internet...
It just kept going back to romantic.
Maybe it's because you're not supposed to do a sexy proposal. Yeah. You're supposed to do it romantic.
Yes. but either way, I'm doing this for you guys.
Okay.
So...
But be warned, just do it romantic. Don't do whatever these suggestions are going to be.
It might work. You might be able to, take something from it and use it. But anyway, sorry, Mum. Maybe stop listening right now.
Oh, God. This doesn't bode well.
So maybe try the naked ribbon. Wrap yourself up, and then they unwrap you, and then boom, there's the ring.
Okay.
Where the sun don't shine.
What, in your belly button?
Yeah, sure.
Shoved in there.
You could have pieces of clothing leading to the bedroom, a little trail, and then there you are, naked on the bed. There are petals, and you've got the ring.
Okay.
That's not so bad. I can actually see that one working. And you could maybe spell out, "Will you marry me?" across multiple pictures of your naked body.
What, like arrange your body into different shapes?
Naked body. That's what makes it sexy.
I thought you meant like write "Will you marry me" on your body.
No, well, that would be better.
You'd have to get someone else to take the pictures, right?
Tripods, there's selfie cameras.
I feel like you'd have to sort of
Selfie
lie on the
sticks.
floor and take a picture from above. She's just there calling out your mate like, "Oh, Gary, can you help me with this project this weekend?"
Yep.
I think basically the conclusion of that is don't do a sexy proposal.
Yeah, I can't.
Keep it romantic.
I can't recommend it. And the only tips I have is to plan ahead.
Yeah.
You don't want to
Make sure Gary's free to take your naked pictures.
And also be yourself.
Yeah.
If you're going to ask someone to marry you, they probably already like you for you.
Yeah, hopefully. Otherwise you're really barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah.
So I was hoping to get some good tips in this section because it's Doug's birthday next month. So I was like,
Oh, exciting.
yeah, maybe we could do a sexy happy birthday. But unfortunately, at the front page of Sexiest Way to say happy birthday was frankly underwhelming. But you brace yourself for this because you might get some of these happy birthday messages. So there was a website on Tech Junkie called Best Sexy Birthday Quotes, Wishes and Messages for Him and Her.
Okay.
So just a list
Just some messages.
of messages. I assume you could text them to someone or write them in their birthday card maybe. This one, the first one, I thought was frankly just frightening. We'll see what you think. Where is my sexy woman? I am going to catch you right now. I will chain you to me and you will never ever leave. Brackets happy birthday.
Brackets happy birthday. That's not sexy.
That's too frightening.
Maybe it's the way you said it. Maybe it would come across better in a message.
Not you shouted. What about this one? Okay, I'll try and do a sexier voice, shall I?
Yeah.
Baby, please do not wear any clothes at all today.
I gotta go to work.
Even if you do, I will remove them all straight away. Happy birthday, my angel.
My angel?
Yes.
That doesn't match up with the messaging.
I mean, I don't know about most people, but I usually tend to see my family and friends on my birthday, so having my clothes instantly stripped off me, regardless of whether or not I want to wear them, seems quite embarrassing.
The whole message seemed very violating in a way.
Yeah, I told you it wasn't very good messages that I found. Okay, how about this one? This night, we will do the dirtiest things which you have never passed through your mind.
Passed through my mind.
Prepare yourself for the hottest night, my love. Do you think you will handle it, baby?
I don't know, again, I think it's the way you're saying
It's kind of threatening, isn't it? Like, things that have never passed through your mind. That suggests you don't want to do it.
I don't know what these are.
What is this website?
Listeners, if you have had any success with any of these, or you personally find these particularly sexy, please let us know what is wrong with you.
I've got one more, okay.
Okay.
This is an oddly formal one.
Okay.
Due to your birthday, let's do something dirty and naughty. This rendezvous we will never forget. My honey, happy birthday. Maybe that's...
Rendezvous.
I feel like the due to your birthday is like maybe if you're emailing someone a birthday wish. Maybe it's like your boss.
Rendezvous just sounds like going on, don't know, army trip or something. Rendezvous at 1800 hours, my bedroom.
Maybe it's just showing that you can spell the word rendezvous, and then they might be like, "Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Let's do something dirty and naughty."
Have you got it written down there?
Well, I copied and pasted it off the weird website.
ROND.
No.
Damn it.
So that one's out for you.
Yeah.
So, would you want me to wish you a happy birthday with any of these?
No, it's okay. I'll just get up early, go to work, and not come
So I
back until
can't
late.
steal all your clothes or chain you to me and never leave.
Exactly.
Okay, so then I decided to do some of my own research into sexy happy birthdays that was away from this website because I couldn't cope with it anymore.
Good idea.
So
I thought when you said you do your own research, you were texting people different people to see what their responses were.
Yeah, I was just arbitrarily texting everyone I know, regardless of whether it was their birthday or not, and just saying various levels of creepy things to them. No, so I was... when I saw, like, Sexiest Way to say happy birthday, I was reminded of the, like, Happy Birthday, Mr. President song.
Yeah.
You know, that was sung by Marilyn Monroe for...
Well, wasn't there personally, but I am aware of it.
Yeah, but I think it's parodied in a lot of, like, TV shows and movies as well. So, yeah, Marilyn Monroe sung it in 1962 for John F. Kennedy's 45th birthday. Mm-hmm. But it's like a... Because I feel like Happy Birthday is not typically a sexy song.
It's a bit... fast, maybe, for a sexy song.
Yeah, but then with the way that Marilyn Monroe did it, it was much more, like, more slow and breathy. Yes, but I feel like if you're going to do a sexy singing of Happy Birthday to someone, it's going to be, like, situation dependent. Because I feel like having Happy Birthday sung to you can be awkward at the best of times. Yeah. So if you're there going to do a sexy Happy Birthday, you might want to not do it, like, well, there's, you know, everyone's family there.
Also, you need to... be a good singer.
Also, yeah.
It's actually a surprisingly tricky song. There's a whole octave jump there.
Yeah. I feel like it is always quite painful when you're there and your family and you're like...
It's okay for the first three notes.
It'll be, it just... I feel like sometimes it goes quite slowly as well. It gets started off too slow and you're like, when will this end? And another thing that I was thinking of was the pop-out cake. You know, where there's someone sexy in a giant cake and they burst out. So I was looking into the origins of this pop-out cake. So it originated in medieval times when a pie would be presented at banquets and then they'd have like live dogs. Doves?
Dogs. Like,
Those of you, it's like live doves or frogs inside.
Frogs?
Yeah, and that was just like a form of entertainment between the courses. But then in 1626, the Duke and Duchess of Buckingham presented King Charles I with a pie from which sprang a dwarf. And maybe they just couldn't get the cake big enough for... like a
that would
tall
be a
person.
really big cake.
But yeah, from then on, like from the 1800s onwards, it became, like, pop-out cake became exclusive to, like, attractive young women jumping out of cakes during decadent parties. And then this was a story that I thought was quite funny. In 1927, a show at the famous French cabaret Moulin Rouge had a grand opening consisting of dozens of female dancers popping out of huge multi-tiered artificial cakes that were covered in real frosting.
Oh, so it's real frosting, but not real cake mix.
Often they're just like a cardboard cake in these popping out of the cake situations. But then when all the dancers got out of their cakes and onto the stage, the soles of their high heels were just covered with frosting. Oh, so it was all slippery and they all fell over on the stage and the show was ruined.
Not very sexy.
So then the kind of popularity of pop-out cakes declined with changing attitudes from the 1970s.
I thought it was you going to imply because of the slipping incident.
Not because of the slipping incident, but I'm sure it was very embarrassing and the Moulin Rouge was probably like, not doing that again. Yeah, so now it's more of a thing that's used for like bachelorette parties with like a stripper in the cake and probably not real frosting.
Yeah. I'd be sad if you did that to one of your cakes. They're so tasty. It'd be so wasteful.
I don't think that I could even make a big enough cake to burst out of.
How many eggs do you think is in that cake?
I think typically they're not real cakes, but yeah, I thought that was quite funny.
That was a good one.
Happy birthday. Well, there you have it. Now you know the sexiest way too. So you got your sexy hair, your sexy happy birthday messages, and your sexy proposal, maybe.
No.
Do a romantic proposal.
Yeah.
End of. Right, so we are a weekly podcast, and you can subscribe so you don't miss an episode. You can also follow us on social media.
Yeah, on Twitter at scpodcast_UK, and on our Instagram.
Yeah, that's also at scpodcast_UK, but I haven't posted anything on it yet, so it's a bit dead.
And if you've got any feedback or you want us to let us know anything, you can also email us, searchcompletepodcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
Thanks for listening. I'm Doug.
And I'm Yvette. Stay sexy.